Algebra Honors, Unit 7, Day 6. We've already gone through our notes and we've used the grouping method and we've used the box method to factor trinomials where a, the leading coefficient, is greater than 1. Okay, so these are just the practice problems. You want to try these first and you can check your work on the key, but if you want to see step by step, you can come back and watch these videos. So I'm going to look at 5x squared minus 18x plus 9. I do always want to check and see if there's a common factor I can pull out, and there's not in this case. A is 5, B is negative 18, and C is 9. A times C is going to be 45. So when I'm looking at these practice problems, two numbers that multiply to give me 45 but add to give me negative 18. I've got to think about that, and let's see, 9 times 5 is 45, but that doesn't add for negative 18. But negative 15 and negative 3. If I multiply those together, I get positive 45, and if I add them together, I get negative 18. So if I use the box method to solve this, remember you're going to put your ax squared, your first term, the whole thing, 5x squared right there. You're going to put c in the bottom right. And you have now figured out your magic numbers for your b term. So we're really splitting this negative 18x up. So it's really 5x squared minus 15x minus 3x plus 9. That's truly what we've done, is we've split up that b term. And so I'm going to put one part here, and I'm going to put one part here. Okay, using the box method, I'm going to now pull out common factors. So looking down at these two factors, these two terms rather, I have 5x squared and negative 15x. I'm going to pull out 5x. I'm taking a positive number because the first term I'm looking at, the box that I'm touching, is positive. Here I have negative 3x and 9. Because I'm looking directly, I'm touching this negative 3, I have to have a negative that I'm going to pull out. So I'm going to take out negative 3 from each of those. Left to right, I can pull out just x, and left to right here, I can take out negative 3. Again, it's negative because the box that I'm touching immediately is has a negative number in it. So those should be my answer, my binomial answers. So I have 5x minus 3 up there, right, times x minus 3. So let me just double check and make sure that that gives me back to my original trinomial. 5x times x is 5x squared. Outer is negative 15x and inner is negative 3x, so that's negative 18x. Last is positive 9. Is that what I started with? 5x squared minus 18x plus 9. It is. So that means I found my binomials. If you put negative 3x in the bottom and negative 15x in the top, that's fine. You'll get the same answers. If you wrote your answer as x minus 3 times 5x minus 3, that's fine also. All right, so number 2, when we look at number 2, again, a is 4, b is negative 15, c is negative 25. And I'm looking to see, can I pull any common factors out? Should have done that first, but no, I don't see any greatest common factor that will come out. I do notice that I have 4x squared, which is a perfect square, and 25, the number 25 is a perfect square, so that might mean something, but let's just go ahead, and 4 times negative 25 is negative 100. I need two numbers that multiply to give me negative 100, but they're going to add up to give me negative 15. So breaking up 100 into its factors, I end up with negative 20 times positive 5. Negative 20 times 5 is negative 100. Negative 20 plus 5 is negative 15. So those are my magic b values, right? So again, think of it like this. You don't have to write it out like this, but I know that this is really 4x squared minus 20x plus 5x minus 25. If I really want to think about what I've done. I've broken up negative 15x so that it's negative 20x plus 5x. All right, when I fill in my box, ax squared, the whole term goes here, so I have 4x squared. My last term, my constant, goes down in the bottom. And then my two middle terms with my magic numbers, variables and all. Just don't forget your variables here. There you go. So looking down, this is a positive. I'm going to pull 4x here. Looking down, I can take 5. Left to right, the only thing I can get out of both of those is an x. Left to right looks like I can take -5. Remember, I'm touching a negative box. A negative number in the box that I'm touching means that I have to have negative outside. So I believe my answer is 4x plus 5 times x minus 5. Let's check it. 4x times x is 4x squared. Outer is -20x, inner is 5x, so that leaves me with -15x. And last is -25. 4x squared minus 15x minus 25. Yay! That checked out. That was me checking my work. Great. All right. So now I have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. So I'm going to say a is 2, b is 7, c is 6, and a times c is 12. I need two numbers that multiply to get 12, but when I add them together I get 7. I think that's 3 times 4. If I put it in the box, I'm going to put 2x squared in the top left, and I'm going to put 6 in the bottom right, and then my magic numbers are going to go right here. Okay, I'm looking for common factors. Between 2x squared and 3x, I can just take an x. Sorry, I'm smeary ink over here. 4x and 6, I can pull a 2. Left to right here, I'm going to pull out 2x. And left to right here, I get to pull 3. I believe this is my answer, x plus 2 times 2x plus 3. Always check it. It just takes a second. X times 2x is 2x squared. Outer is 3x, inner is 4x, so that's 7x. And last is 6, 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. So since that worked, I know those are the factors. All right. I have a equals 2, b equals -11, c equals -6. A times c is -12, so I need two numbers that multiply to give me -12, but they add together to give me -11. So that must be -12 times 1. -12 times 1 is -12. -12 plus 1 is -11. So those are my magic middle terms. Plunk this in my box, and I'm going to get 2x squared, and down here I'm going to put -6. One other corner is going to be -12x. Don't forget your variables. This guy's going to be x. So looking down from the top, I can pull 2x. Down from the top, all I get out of there is 1. Left to right, I can pull an x, and left to right, I have to have a negative, right, because my box is negative, so I'm going to take out -6. My answers are 2x plus 1 times x minus 6. 2x times x is 2x squared. -12x plus 1x is -11x, and 1 times -6 is -6. 2x squared minus 11x minus 6 worked, and so I'm done. Just as a side thought, if you wanted to do this by grouping, you're going to end up with 2x squared. Instead of minus 11x, you would say minus 12x plus x, right? Because those are your magic numbers there. Minus 12x plus x is minus 11x. And then I still have minus 6. So this is by grouping if you prefer that method. For my first two terms, I would pull out 2x, and I get x minus 6. For my next two terms, there's nothing to pull out, so I'm just going to pull out a 1, and I get x minus 6. There you go, I have that x minus 6 matching binomial, and I'm left with 2x plus 1. So thankfully, same answer. Doesn't matter that it's a different order, but this is if I wanted to solve by grouping instead. Okay. Always check for a greatest common factor. So 28x squared plus 28xy minus 56y squared. I'm going to pull 28 out. And so I'm left with x squared plus xy minus 2y squared. So it's weird because I've got two different variables, right? So what we're going to do here is, I know I'm probably going to have two binomials as my answer, right? That's probably what my answer is going to be. Since I pulled out a greatest common factor, I don't want to lose it, so that's where I'm going to give myself a little skeleton to put in my answer. I don't want to just give the binomials because that'll be wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to factor x squared plus xy minus 2y squared. All right, so you know a equals 1, yeah? B, what are you multiplying x times? You're multiplying it times y. So it's weird, but that's what you're multiplying. It's 1y, right? Your c then is So your C is really negative 2y squared, right? It's that whole thing. I know this is kind of a weird way to look at it. If I say a times c then, that's going to be negative 2y squared. So in my x puzzle, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me negative 2y squared, but they have to add up to give me y. It's kind of a weird way to look at it, but it is how we're going to do it. So two numbers that multiply to give me negative 2y squared, but add to give me y. Well, I know I need one positive and one negative, right? I'm probably going to have y times y somewhere in here. So if I say that I have positive 2y and negative 1y, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, y times y is y squared, and when I say 2y minus y, I get y. So I did actually find my middle numbers here. Okay, that's a way to do it. It's not the only way to do it. If I do my box, I'm going to get, first term is x squared. Oh, actually, I don't even have to do my box, do I? Because my first term is, my first leading coefficient is a 1. I can just plop this guy in, right? So this is going to be x plus 2y, and it's going to be x minus y. Okay, I didn't even need that. So let me just also do it by grouping over here. So if I had said, looking at this whole x squared plus xy minus 2y squared, if I had said x squared plus 2xy minus xy, right, because you've got the x involved, I'm breaking xy into 2xy minus xy, minus 2y squared. You can do grouping here. I can pull x from those guys, so I have x times x plus 2y, right? And here, I'm going to pull negative y out, so I have negative y times x plus 2y. And that's where I get my x plus 2y, and I'm left with x minus y. So there's several different ways to do that kind of a problem. Just work through it. Oh, I totally covered up where I need to do the next problem. I'm so sorry, Paul. Okay, since I wrote all over my space, we're just going to use blank paper. Okay, check for a greatest common factor. I have 8, negative 16, and 6. I can pull a 2. I have x cubed, x squared, x. I can pull an x. So I'm going to take 2x out of all of those guys. I'm left with 4x squared minus 8x plus 3. Okay, so I know my answer is probably going to be 2x times some binomials, yeah? That's probably my answer. That's my skeleton. So all I'm going to do right now is factor that. Okay, I need two numbers that multiply to give me positive 12, but when I add them together, they're going to give me negative 8. Well, that's negative 6 and negative 2, right? Negative 6 times negative 2 is 12, and negative 6 plus negative 2 is negative 8. So if I use my box, I'm just doing this trinomial, so the first term, 4x squared, goes there, variables and all. Last term goes there. I just broke this up into 6x and negative 2x. Did I say negative 6x? That's what I meant to say. From the top down, I can pull 2x. From the top down here, I just am going to pull negative 1, and I have to pull negative because I'm touching negative. Left to right, I'm going to pull 2x, and left to right, I'm going to pull negative 3. I believe 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 3 are my binomials, but let me just check really quick and make sure, really quickly. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Outer is negative 6x, inner is negative 2x, so combined that's negative 8x, and last is positive 3. Is that what I wanted? 4x squared minus 8x plus 3? Yeah. Okay, so that means that those are the binomials I was looking for, 2x minus 1 and 2x minus 3. Okay, so that is my final answer. So sorry for that mess up there. All right, let's pretend it's not there. Let's just look at this problem. The area of a rectangular kitchen tile is that, 15x squared minus 14x minus 8. If the length is 5x plus 2, what's the width? Well, we know always area equals length times width, right? So, area, 15x squared minus 14x minus 8. That area equals length times width. We don't know what width is, but we do know that if we were going to multiply two binomials together to get a trinomial, to get my first terms multiplied together, 5x times something equals 15x squared, the only thing I can do is 3x, right? 5x times 3x is 15x squared. It has to be that. My last term is going to be negative 8. So 2 times what equals negative 8? Negative 4. That's the only way for those last two terms to multiply and give me negative 8, right? So I'm hoping that works because there's nothing else that's going to work. So let's see. 5x times 3x, I'm checking now, is 15x squared. Outer is negative 20x, inner is 6x, so that's negative 14x left. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Is that what my area was? Yes. So that means I got it right, okay? 5x plus 2 times 3x minus 4 is the only way I can get 15x squared minus 4x minus 8. So I figured out that this is my width, right? This was my length, and this is my width. You also could take that area and factor it. If you factor that, you're going to say that you got 5x plus 2 times 3x minus 4. If you factor that, that's what you get, right? You know if area equals length times width, and you're looking for width, you can divide each side by length, right? So you know area divided by length equals width. So this is area divided by length equals the width, right? Anything divided by itself is 1, so I'm left with just 3x minus 4. So there's more than one way to get your answer, but 3x minus 4 is your width. Great, thank you for watching. Tune in for the next one.